to the Tuesday Vibe. On the Tuesday Vibe, we keep it real, we keep it personal, we keep it inspirational, we keep it motivated, and we do definitely keep it alive with the Word of God. I'm your host, Valerie. Today, we'll be keeping it real. We'll be talking about health issues, drug resistance. Yes, we brought in our guest, Jacqueline Mushingo, a scientist. And it is Women's Month, so we are celebrating all the women. And we're all about good vibes. Welcome.
Thank you very much. So today we'll be talking about antimicrobial resistance, also known as drug resistance by a lot of people. So when we talk about antimicrobial resistance, we are talking about microbes, or in other terms, germs. That is bacteria, fungi, viruses, protozoa becoming resistant or failing to be killed by the drugs that once killed them. So you are unable to cure infections because these microbes or germs have become resistant to drugs. So there are several things that causes this type of resistance. One of it being the overuse of these antimicrobials. So when we are talking about antimicrobials, we are talking about antifungal, antibiotics, antiviral, the general sense. A lot of people like overusing these drugs. We've seen more mama farmers, they use these drugs to boost farming. We've heard of such. Even in animals, you can find someone saying, some of them, they give them certain drugs to prevent them from getting sick. Meanwhile, that is causing resistance of these drugs. So these germs or microbes are exposed with these drugs. So in the environment everywhere you expose these drugs to them, then they'll start mutating. So mutating meaning they are changing from their original form. Change, to adapt, to survive. They've been exposed to this. So that's one way these microbes or germs are becoming resistant to drugs. The other way is by misusing. You're not even sure what is causing you not to feel well. Sometimes it could just be fatigue. You just need to rest. Then you decide, antibiotics. Meanwhile, you are exposing these microorganisms to a drug that is not treating them. Another way is when you don't seek medical attention. You're sick. Sometimes it can just be a simple cough. You, just because in the past you used amoxicillin, you are thinking even this time amoxicillin will work. Meanwhile, that cough is caused by a fungi which can't be treated by an antibiotic. And in that way, just a simple infection won't be treated. So if you make it a habit of going to the hospital now and then, if you're not feeling okay, go to the hospital. They will do culture on whatever sample, be it blood, sputum, urine. After the culture, they'll do sensitivity. So bala checking of omulwere bamune n'omuti owinga womba pakuti mpoli nga bakitefe balampeera omuti wa right not wa wrong. These are some of the ways we are creating this resistance. So then after you expose these microbes will want to survive, so they will mutate, they will change the way they are. Some will just develop, will change the outer surface where this drug is supposed to bind. Opo you feel color, ya change. Kaya drug iresa na change. Then yimbika tafiyangira yafuma because they are surviving. Although some of these microbes stay on. era tana transfer the same mutation oyo ikwete yaperako omunankwe my friend, there's this drug that is trying to cure us. If you change to this way, even you will survive. So you have those mutations being shared in some of the organism. And once that organism has mutated, even the offspring, let me say just offspring, they'll have the same mutation and that will be exposed to the environment. So there's me who's misusing these drugs, and there's an innocent person out there. That person hasn't misused any drug, but because in one way or the other I didn't practice good personal hygiene, I exposed that drug, that microorganism or germ out in the environment. Even that person that hasn't been misusing the same drug will get that germ and they'll get infected. A simple drug that is supposed to treat a simple disease or illness won't work because something has happened.
So what can be done to really stop the drug resistance?
So what can be done? It's the responsibility of every one of us. One, we are not supposed to be misusing drugs. If we are not feeling well, it's best we go to the hospital. I've heard a lot of people complaining, I'm going to have a hospital, they haven't paid for Panadol. They have given you Panadol because according to what the clinician Bachelor says, there's none, whatever you are feeling, Panadol can work. Now, if you give yourself your own medication, we are just killing ourselves. What happens? Drug resistance. They are just simple infections, just a simple cough, which can be resolved within days. Someone, just because my germs or my microbes now mutate, that cough won't be resolved because it has changed. And this developing of drugs takes time and resources. A lot of money is involved. Maybe by the time you're having that cough, your some available drugs are not working. So that cough will progress. It will lead to something complicated, pneumonia, even death, something that would have been cured. So when you're given a course, you are told to take this medication for 5 days, 2 weeks. Please adhere to that. If you decide, okay, today I'm feeling well, let me just stop here. By the time you are stopping, some of my germs they would have remained inside the body. So those that remains, because they're feeling better and you've stopped, will mutate, creating resistance to that drug. So the next time you take or when you expose that outside, drug won't work. So finish your medication, make sure you always visit the clinic and hospital and make sure they check what's wrong with you and give you the right medication. It's very bad for someone who has, let's say, cancer. We know umuntu nganakwata cancer na immune system is compromised. Then you expose them to these resistant microbes. Umuntu immune system is already down. Then just because me and you are not careful enough, we are not doing the right thing, then we expose that person. Already chemotherapy. That would be very dangerous for that person. So let's do the right thing.
Okay, thank you so much to our scientists for coming through the Tuesday Vibe. You have heard do the right thing. You have been listening to the Tuesday Vibe. I have been your host, Valerie. Until the next Tuesday Vibe, you know we all about good vibes.